Hi everyone and welcome to LL Sports TV. Just a quick video summarising the Arsenal game that took place earlier today, which ended Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Now, this is the second time in a row that Arsenal have gone to Newcastle and lost. But I've got to say, today's performance was comfortably Arsenal's worst performance of the season. Some people are saying worst performance of the whole calendar year. It was that bad. I'm not exaggerating. Where can I start? I mean, from the off, actually, I say from the off, but the first couple of minutes or so, we actually looked quite bright. We were on the front foot and we were taking it to Newcastle. But at some point, that confidence or that start dissipated very quickly. And Newcastle kind of assumed control of the game. And once they scored the goal, I've got to say it was a brilliant goal, by the way. Great cross by Anthony Gordon. Great header by Isak, which is a bit of a sore point because a lot of us at Arsenal wanted Isak to come into the team for some time, but it hasn't happened. And today he reminded of us of how good a player he is. But yeah, once Isak scores that goal especially, it would appear that the confidence and any belief that we had just drained out of the team almost immediately. Lacking in confidence, lacking in intensity, lacking in belief. Couldn't get anything going. Creativity was a nightmare today. So many players off the pace. So many, in fact, that I can't dig out any players for specific criticism because they were pretty much all bad. So that's an indication of how poor the performance was today. A lot of people are coming after the manager. I've seen online. I've spoken to a few people on the phone immediately after the game. They're not happy. They're saying that the manager got it completely wrong today. They weren't happy with the team selection. They weren't happy with what they perceived to be the lack of in-game management. There was a lot of people saying that given the poor performance in the first half, he should have made changes at half-time. And you know what? I tend to agree with that. One thing I've noticed about Mikel Arteta is that he's got a very rigid and structured way he goes about in-game management. You very rarely see Mikel Arteta make substitutions at half-time, or even early in the second half, unless they're necessitated by injury. But today was a day when he could easily have made 2 or 3 changes at half-time and no one would have batted an eyelid. But he chose not to do so. And the game just meandered to what we all realised was going to happen pretty soon into the game, which is that Arsenal were not going to win today. Very poor performance. I've got to say, comfortably the worst performance of the season, and some people are saying, like I said, worst performance of the whole calendar year, which is very disappointing when you consider that Arsenal are trying to fight for this title. But with that loss today, we could end up being some way off in terms of points by the end of this weekend. Some people are even saying that's our title hopes are up in smoke. Not going to go quite that far because, listen, it's match day 9. And that represents a quarter of a 38-game season. But there is lots to be concerned about. Let's start by talking about the lack of creativity. Now, the continued miss of Martin Odegaard is clearly starting to affect Arsenal in a very detrimental way. We're just not creating anything up top, and we're not looking like we're going to either. So certainly today was the case. And as I said, Martin Odegaard not being there, you realise how integral and how instrumental he is to Arsenal. He leads the press. The little intricate ball skills he shows on the edge of the box to bring other people into play. Just his general all-round play is something that we are acutely missing. Now, I'm aware that he's not too far away from making a return to the team, and I've got to say that return can't come soon enough. And that is not a shade on Mikel Merino, by the way, who was asked to play in that role today, and him and Trossard. But definitely Mikel Arteta's got some thinking to do in how he approaches that, because it really is starting to show up. And there were other areas of the pitch again today. Martinelli was disappointing. I said I wasn't going to dig players out, but Livramento had him in his pocket pretty much the whole game. And the reason why I'm going to mention Martinelli is because for a few weeks now he's not performed at the levels that we have a right to expect. He's a very good player, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's confidence or whatever, He's just not doing it at the moment. That is another thing that has to be addressed. So, yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not going to go into digging out individuals too much because I think it was a collective thing today. It wasn't just an individuals here and there. The whole team didn't perform, so the whole team have to be criticised. Perhaps the only positive I can take from today is when I tell you, and I'm being honest when I say this, is that I've rarely seen an Arsenal team perform that poorly. So it could be one of those cases where every now and again in a season, you get a jolt where you think, no, man, we've got to go away and work on this. We've got to correct this. I'm hoping that today is the nadir that we will rise from. And if we're going to rise from it, we need to rise from it pretty quickly. I mean, I don't know if the manager's going to give the players a few days rest, but they've got a very difficult midweek assignment in the Champions League away at Milan, followed by equally difficult game in the Premier League against Chelsea. And London derby, away from home. Chelsea are playing well at the moment. That is going to be a difficult game. And we're going to have to be miles better than we was today. But I will keep faith with the team. I will keep faith with the manager. As I said, it's rare since I've seen an Arsenal team perform with such a lack of intensity and confidence and belief. So, as I said, it could be one of those situations whereby we reach a nadir, some strong words will be had, give the players a little break, and we come again renewed, refreshed, re-energised, hopefully, and we go again. So I'm not giving up on the team as yet, but I do think it is important to express my concern at what's gone on today. Unacceptable, disappointing, and can only get better from here on in, hopefully. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you very much. If it's your first time here, please like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Take care. Have a good weekend. I'm out.